This deck is out of this world. You could say it's completely gone virtual. What's going on with you guys? The Cali Effect, king of games here, and today I'm going to be bringing you a virtual world deck profile post Blazing Vortex. Now, Virtual World is considered one of the best decks in Yu-Gi-Oh, but what if I told you Virtual World is the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh post Blazing Vortex, even if True King of All Calamities gets banned? That's right, I believe that Virtual World is that powerful, so of course, if you want to see more content like this, then be sure to destroy that subscribe button, and also be sure to hit that notification bell if you want to be too strong. So without further ado, let's jump on in so I can show you how Virtual World is really powerful into this format and why the deck is just so good even if Calamities gets banned. You start off this combo by normal summoning onto Jiji and then triggering the effect of Lulu's effect targeting Jiji. Send Qinglong from your deck to the graveyard, add Virtual World Gate Xuanwu, activate the effect of Qinglong, search Laolao from your deck to your hand, and then discard the Xuanwu. Now here you can synchro summon with Lulu and Jiji, synchro summon into Stardust Charge Warrior, and then draw a card. So here's our free card. And now we activate the effect of Virtual World Gate Xuanwu. We'll special summon Mai-Hime Lulu back to our side of the field. We'll send that card from our hand to the graveyard that we drew off a Stardust Charge Warrior. And now we'll synchro summon with the Stardust Charge Warrior in the Lulu right into our Virtual World Kyubi Shenshen. In this particular situation, if our opponent decides to Nibiru the Shenshen, we can always bring it back next turn, and we'll still have 4 cards left in our hand. I'm assuming they're only going to do it after we activate Laolao's effect to send Qinglong from the deck to the graveyard to special summon Jiji, and that's still perfectly fine. We still have Uncle Shenshen as a follow-up next turn, as well as 3 cards in our hand. We will synchro summon with Jiji and Laolao. We'll go right into Ravenous Crocosaurus and then draw a card to our hand. And then we can Exceed summon. We can make True King of All Calamities here, which of course allows us to detach the Shenshen to declare an attribute and our opponent can't use it. But let's say for some reason Calamities got banned, we can always make the new card from the Blazing Vortex set, Sacred Tree Beast Hypertron, which allows us to detach a material from this card to negate the activation of a card effect with the corresponding type monster, spell, or trap. This card is actually extremely insane, but if you look at the combo with 2 cards, we have 4 remaining cards in our hand, as well as a free negation, a pretty good setup with Qinglong in the graveyard, as well as a Virtual World Kyubi Shenshen ready to go to the graveyard to be summoned again. That is the very basics of the combo. So the thing I love the most about the new cards from the Blazing Vortex set is that Virtual World Toutou plus any Virtual World is True King of All Calamities. In this particular combo, I'm going to be showing you how those 2 cards plus an additional random card not only can get you that True King of All Calamities, but you can take it a step further. So of course, I'm going to start off by adding that card in my hand and then normal summoning Toutou, activating Lulu's effect. I'm going to send Qinglong from the deck and add Chuche or Xuanwu, it does not matter. Next, I'm going to synchro summon with Lulu and Toutou, Virtual World Kyubi Shenshen, and then I'm going to use Qinglong's effect to be able to search. I'm going to add Roshi and then discard Chuche. Next, I'll use Roshi's effect. I'll send the other Virtual World Gate Trap card to be able to special summon Roshi, and then I'll be able to special summon Lulu to my side of the field. So right here is the first opportunity for my opponent to Nibiru, but if you look at my graveyard, it's fairly loaded. Virtual World Gate Xuanwu allows me to special summon a Virtual World monster back to my side of the field, meaning that if I have other cards in my hand that are Virtual World or allow me to extend, I can still go pretty much full combo. So from here, I will use Chuche to reduce Shenshen by 3, and then I'll synchro summon with both of these monsters. Cloudcastle will special summon Shenshen back to my side of the field, and now Cloudcastle plus Shenshen into that True King of All Calamities. So the reason why this combo is a little different than the other combos is that I have True King of All Calamities, but I also have a Virtual World Roshi Laolao on my field. I can actually extend with Xuanwu, being able to special summon the Toutou to my side of the field and then discard a card. And then for here, I have 1 to 2 options. I can actually Exceed summon with Laolao and Toutou into Constellar Ptolemy M7 or any other rank 6, using its effect to detach to add the Lulu back into my hand, or I can do something a little different. Now I did scatter the Yu-Gi-Oh database for Synchro 12s and I actually found a Synchro 12 that's really good. I'm going to synchro with Laolao and Toutou for Geomathmech Final Sigma into the Extra Monster Zone. Basically what Geomathmech Final Sigma does is that it's unaffected by other card effects unless they are Mathmech cards, and seeing that a lot of players play Mathmech, it's going to be really hard for your opponent to affect this monster. It also is a card that can inflict double damage to the opponent. I think that this card is an amazing card if you're not going into your rank 6 or Constellar Ptolemy M7. Now the cool thing about Toutou is that even at its worst, it still can make full combo. In this particular sequence, I'm going to use Toutou and Jiji and give it a little bit of help. I'm going to need a psychic monster in my hand as well as a discard outlet. This is really easy for the virtual world strategy to do. So in this situation, I'm going to normal summon Toutou and then activate Jiji, send Qinglong from my deck to the graveyard, activate Qinglong's effect. I'm going to add Lulu from my deck to my hand. Lulu's effect targeting a virtual world monster, summon, send Xuanwu, add Kauwloon, Lulu plus Toutou into our virtual world Kyubi Shenshen. I actually forgot the discard for the Qinglong. How can I forget? I'm so silly sometimes. And now, of course, Toutou's effect, summon itself to the side of the field by discarding a psychic monster. And oh look, what do we have here, guys? Synchro summon with Toutou and Jiji. Ravenous Croc is going to trade one of those cards I discarded for a free card, Kauwloon, Chuche, and Calamities. And that is pretty much showing you how Toutou, even with a subpar hand, can make True King of all Calamities, Virtual World Gate Chuche, as well as an additional card in your hand. Also keep in mind that I still have Xuanwu in the graveyard to activate for a future turn. This deck is too strong. The next combo I'm going to be showing you is a mandatory must-know combo for virtual world players. It essentially allows you to play around Nibiru. Now, this combo is rather extensive, and looking at it, you're going to need virtual world city Kauwloon, as well as you're going to need either a Lili or a Lulu, and either a Laolao or a Jiji. You're going to be able to cycle through those fairly well, and you're also going to need a card to discard. So let's jump on in and show you how important this combo is. First, we're going to activate Kauwloon, place Chuche into the spell and trap card zone, use the effect of Lili to target Chuche, send Nyannyan and Qinglong to the graveyard, Qinglong effect, add Lulu and discard your additional card, and now Lulu effect, target Chuche, send Qinglong, add Jiji. And now, of course, we are going to use the effect of Jiji to target either Lili or Lulu. I'm going to send Xuanwu to the graveyard to summon itself, and then we're going to trigger the effect of Nyannyan to summon itself to the side of the field. Here is where we have it. We have 4 summoned monsters, and this is how we prevent ourselves from being Nibiru. Exceed summon with the Nyannyan and the Jiji. Make number 75 Bamboozling Gossip Shadow. Basically what Bamboozling does is when your opponent activates Nibiru, you can stop that. So that actually can come up and is pretty important. So from here, we will synchro summon with Lulu and Lili. We'll go into Virtual World Kyubi Shenshen, and then we'll activate Laolao targeting Shenshen. We'll send Chuche to the graveyard to special summon Laolao. Resolving its effect, we will special summon a Mai-Hime Lulu. So from here, we'll use the effect of Chuche to reduce the level of our Shenshen, and then we'll synchro summon with the Lulu in the Shenshen, Cloudcastle, special summon the Shenshen back to your side of the field, and now you can use both of these monsters for your Exceed summon into your True King of all Calamities or your Hypertron if Calamities gets banned. Let's say you have an additional card in your hand, you can use the effect of your Xuanwu, being able to special summon Lili to your side of the field and then discard that card. And now you can use both of these monsters for an Exceed summon. Of course, this is a card that I've been playing since day one. You can make Ptolemy M7 the Laolao, since there is an initial target in graveyard, to add that Laolao back to our hand, and then Jiji will allow me to add that Mai-Hime Lulu. But that's pretty much it for the few combos that I'm going to show you. If you want to see this deck in action, then be sure to destroy that like button and let us know down below in the comment section. I just might have a spicy live game for you. But with all that out of the way, let's jump in and show you the deck profile on how powerful Virtual World has become. 3 copies of Laolao, 3 copies of Lili, and 1 copy of Toutou. These are the bread and butter level 6 monsters. Toutou is a new addition from the Blazing Vortex set, and she's a welcome addition. Typically, this deck does not have any normal summons outside of Nyannyan. Toutou allows you to normal summon herself as a level 6 monster, or you can special summon her from the graveyard by discarding a Psychic or Worm monster. Now, I typically wouldn't want to discard any other monster from my hand unless it's Nyannyan or PSY-Frame Driver, but this card can actually discard dead Virtual World monsters which allow you to stand. Moving forward for the threes, of course, we play 3 copies of Lulu, 3 copies of Nyannyan, and 3 copies of Jiji. Just about every virtual world deck should be playing the maximum allotment of every single virtual world card, for the exception of Toutou. Moving forward for the hand traps, we keep it ultra standard because, again, this is the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! What do we really need to change? So, of course, the Driver Gamma package, this is amazing for being able to stop players. If they ask your desires and you have this in hand with the target, you win. And then 3 copies of Ash Blossom as the most versatile hand trap in Yu-Gi-Oh! That's gonna sum up for all of the hand traps we play. Now, the card that I'm about to place on the mat, if you guys can't afford it, you can play cards like Ghost Bell or Skullmeister. But of course, I play 3 copies of Forbidden Droplet into the main board. This card is the out to a lot of boards. In the mirror match, when your opponent True Kings of all calamities you, discarding a Virtual World Gate, Xuanwu, or a Chuche from your hand as well as a monster prevents them from destroying their calamities with Chuche and allows you to get out of the calamities lock. It's also great against Tri-Brigade, Drytron, just almost any deck, you name it, this card is an out to it. But of course, if you guys cannot afford Forbidden Droplet, go ahead and play hand traps. I don't play Triple Tactics Talent in this deck. I don't think that it's a great card right now, and Forbidden Droplets is that replacement. Moving forward, we play 3 copies of Desires. The card is just completely free in this deck. I don't think there's a time where I Desires and just regretted it. And then moving forward, of course, 3 copies of Kauwloon, 3 copies of Qinglong. After that, our last 3 cards are 2 copies of Foolish Burial Goods and that 1 copy of Emergency Teleport. Foolish Burial Goods is actually a card that I feel you can strongly play 3 of. Foolish Burial Goods not only has a use to send Qinglong, it can send your extender in Xuanwu from the deck to the graveyard, so it's a pretty good card. You can even play Foolish Burial in the deck too, because not only do you have Nyannyan now, you have Toutou that can actually come up. And then finishing off with the traps, we play 3 copies of Chuche and 1 copy of Xuanwu. That's gonna pretty much sum up the entirety of the virtual world deck at 42 cards. For the extra deck, I did tell you I am trying out Geomathmech Final Sigma. I felt that double Cloudcastle just wasn't needed if I have this card. A lot of times, this card can literally one-shot your opponent. Next is Chaofeng, cards amazing at Unbreaking, Cloudcastle, Vermillion Mech, and Shenshen, Ravenous Croc, Jiji, Charge Warrior, Coral Dragon. Only 1 copy of the new Sacred Beast Hypertron if Calamities does get banned. I think 2 copies of this card would be necessary, and then you can use a flex spot for whatever you want. 2 Calamities, we're gonna play this card until they ban it. 1 Ptolemy M7, 1 Zeus. This is a card that I feel is really good but not mandatory, and of course 1 Gossip Shadow to prevent us from being Nibiru. Now, 2 other XE cards that I wanted to mention was Fortune Tune, that card's pretty good, but also Break Sword is a pretty decent card at, breaking particular cards your opponent wants to floodgate you with. But other than that, the virtual world deck is pretty solid and is one of the best decks, if not the best deck. In my opinion, it is the best deck in Yu-Gi-Oh! Well, that is all that I have for today's video. Again, if you guys want to see that live duel, be sure to destroy that like button, as well as let us know down below in the comment section. But also be sure to check out these other videos as they are too strong. Well, that's pretty much all that I have, and I'll catch you on the next video.